big up, big up, big up. It is roll call, people. It is roll call. It's not an easy life. Like I was just saying backstage, it's a hard knocks life. But we do this all again because it is early in the morning for me, considering I just went to sleep not too long ago. But I am up and I am anxious to see what this game is going to bring for us today. Especially considering the game that's going down, considering I freaking missed out on using my triple captain or any of that other stuff that I'm supposed to do, I guess, in fantasy football. Hopefully, you got your fantasy football stuff in because I know I didn't. So I've been watching it all week, and I did not I forgot to click the button. I did not push the button. So, but I did get my team in. I luckily have Chris Wood, and Chris Wood is now on a hat trick. 3 goals for Chris. Nico Williams is apparently playing well in this game too. Unfortunately, he's on my bench, but does not matter. You don't want to hear my fantasy football woes. You want to hear about these Liverpool Reds, and I do too. So let's talk about something that is good. Well, the Chris Wood stuff's good too because I got the points for it, but we got a lineup. And it is full of players that we expected to see. The bench, maybe not so much. The bench does not have Chiesa, as MK Toe just noted. It is a lineup that has maybe a lineup that doesn't really tickle the fancy of some people, because I know some people have soured with the whole Lucho. It's not really an experiment anymore, because I mean we've seen it. It's something that we expect to see nowadays too. So it's not really, to me, it's not an experiment. It's certainly something that's been like it's been tried a couple of times already. So yeah, this is apparently what the coach does like to see or like to go with. But again, we got a bench of Kelleher, Simicast, Kwanzaa, Bradley, Endo, Jones, Elliott, Nunez, and Diego. No Chiesa. Again, probably because Chiesa got a full 90 in that last matchup. And again, this is what I'm telling you, people. I know we're getting down to at the end of January, but this lineup is fully stacked. This is something I'm going to say, something I noted, something I heard the journalist note, and that is we have a full lineup, a full staff ready for this spring run, and it's something that we wouldn't have said before, or didn't think that we would be saying, actually, considering we really rarely gone into February with an entirely fit cast, and that's what we have right now. So I am going to, no, I'm not jinxing it, because there's already been it was noted by a couple other people.
I just say, as soon as we start talking about how fit our squad is, bang, someone goes and does his ankle. Always happens.
Well,
you just gotta don't mention it. Just keep it running quietly in the background. Don't bring attention to it.
Background. Well, it's the truth. It is the truth.
I know. Mm-hmm.
We have Brian with us. We have Nolante with us as well for this roll call. Brian, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Team that I picked, not because I know anything, but literally that team just picks itself, I thought, at this stage when everyone's fit. So no surprises, but yeah, a bit unfortunate not to see Chiesa on the bench. But like you said, maybe that 90 was enough for him. But yeah, look, run with it.
There you go, MK. I appreciate that. How you doing, Lante?
Yeah, what's Does anyone know Kiesa's omission? What is he? As you picked up a slight knock, what is the
Mm,
issue with
no, it's just
Kiesa?
only reason I was really bringing up that part
Because
with
I'm
you
trying to look.
is that now that we have a, a fit squad, there's going to be cuts. There's going to be players that don't make the squad, and it's just a matter of we have Nunez, we have Diego, both viable candidates that at striker, especially when you're playing your two left wings on the pitch, you know.
They're just talking about fatigue here. I've seen a couple of things.
Yeah,
Tactical decision,
it's tactical
managing
decision.
fatigue. Fans,
It's
I just
tactical. It's certainly.
yeah.
I mean, I look at it as you
He's
have.
not injured, basically.
He's not injured.
They say he's not injured, so we know that
He's
much.
he's a healthy scratch. You know.
Yeah, because he's fine on. That's why I'm just curious. But yeah, obviously, good surprises. Obviously, CJ back in the cup. Joey's not. He's not far off. You know
Joey's
what I mean?
Joey could have been apparently like Joey could
Yeah,
have
Diego. So
played today, but like
everyone. Yeah.
but that's another player that you probably would like, or some of us have said that we've noticed the difference when he was playing, how much of importance he is. He's not on the bench, but that would mean then Kwanzaa doesn't make the bench, maybe, or maybe if you're going to bring a Chiesa, that means Jones doesn't make the bench. So I mean, like, because the 11 that we see starting are the 11 that are going to either start or in some form or another are going to be available on that bench. So it's a matter of Gomez, Chiesa. Yeah, you're going to have to figure out where and how to get into the starting lineup or get into the lineup period. So that's exactly that's the primary reason why I was mentioning that is because look, I don't mind getting back up in the sense of getting if there's an opportunistic buy on the market right now, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Plenty of games, plenty of minutes out.
But it's going to be difficult. My point is it's going to be very difficult to get these. It's going to be difficult to get a player into this lineup because you're going to have to take a player out of it. So when everyone's like, "Let's go in January," I think that's the reason why we haven't made any moves in January. The team's fit, and all the players are players that the coach likes in one way or another for this run, and there's no needle moving player, I think, out there that you could say, "Oh, take this player." I'm good with moving on from this player at the moment. So that's how I look at it. And especially since we have some players that are very, very capable that are just on the bench as well. Those January transfers would possibly be simply doing what Chiesa is doing what Gomez is doing right now, and that is watching the game from the stands. So that's all. That's all. It's good. That's good though. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. I think that's I'm actually pretty happy that we are very strong and that the coach is going to have to make some very difficult decisions. It's what he's getting paid the big bucks for,
Yeah, just give me 10%.
Yeah, exactly.
Give my 10% for last week's lot. But no, that's fine. No, I was just curious a little bit because I know, so I just wanted to ask you guys in the chat. I mean, personally, I mean, it's not a big. Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, I would have put him on the bench today, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm sure I would have after his cameo, I would have put him as an option. But yeah, you're right. The big guys got Bay, and then Joey's not far behind. So I'm assuming Everton or one of the games he'll be back. So. And this is what I said. And this is why I said that there's. Yeah. Sorry, 12.
No. Finish your statements. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, all I was going to say was just at the start of the summer, this is what I said when people were saying to buy. I was saying, if we're going to buy, we have to sell because our squad is rampacked in every position.
Yep.
is rampant. We have to sell to buy, so we can't just buy for the sake of it. You got to sell and to buy. But in terms of the lineup, so the Kaiser thing, I appreciate the heads up with that. In terms of the lineup, again, I don't know what Nunes is. He 100% fit? Is he? I would just loved him to start. I'll stick to what I said. I would have loved Darwin to start. I just want a number 9 through the middle. I just and then I know he wasn't feeling well, but it seems to me something that wasn't that bad to make him out. So I personally, I don't want Diaz in that number 9 position. Play your number 9, Darwin, Jota. I don't care. I want my number 9 through the middle to be the outlet. But apart from that, I think the team picked itself. I think we kind of saw when Robbo was taken off, then you kind of knew he's going to start, even though we probably, all of us would have said Simicas. But yeah, I mean, we go, and like I said, man, there's no excuses today. No excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses today. I don't care how well Bournemouth are playing. We've got the squad people to do our job. So let's get the win and put pressure on those B-Tech, Pep and Co.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think that. Do you? What's your thoughts on this before I go back into my original thought, Brian? And hello to the chat as well. Some good numbers showing up today.
Yeah, hello to everybody. Revenite and Kato, Barney, Hashash, Bonkers, Abdul, all the usual legends in the house. No, I would have gone with Robbo myself. I don't really look the Diaz thing through the middle. I think, like as we were discussing yesterday, he wants to use a false 9. He wants to use, that's been kind of pretty clear to me anyway. And Jota isn't quite ready, and the next one off the rank seems to be Diaz. Yeah, I think, look, is it perfect? No. I'm sure Diaz will tell you he does his best work out left, but it's getting us where we are. It's good to see Jota back on the bench now. I wasn't sure if that was going to happen, but no, look, the team, like I said, it's almost, is it full strength? Probably not. Maybe he would have Diogo over Diaz, but I mean, it's other than that, they're all well rested. Other than Robbo got his few minutes, right? He played his few minutes. I don't think there's anyone else in this team that started. Gakpo. So yeah, like you're saying, no, definitely no excuses. It's not like, oh, but we played on Wednesday and it's the same team. It's like, no, we basically had a week off here. Lots of time to prepare, rest. So yeah, I'm expecting very, very strong performance today. Definitely. Like Nolante is saying, just go and let the rest of them know that, yeah, this little Bournemouth team that everyone's so worried about, yeah, we just went there and took care of them 3-0. So what's the problem?
Yeah. JK's in the house with us too. Red's roll call calling loud in effect. JK,
what a mercy, bro. Nolante, Brian. Oh, looking forward to this game.
Yes.
What I'm happy about is to see Jota on the bench. Like what Nolante said as well, like the team sort of picks itself, bar the front three, I would say. And that front three, we've got Diaz in that. For me, Diaz likes tight sort of situations. It's going to be like that, small pitch. It's going to be really tight. And I think Diaz is that type of guy. He can handle that sort of situation. I believe having Jota and Darwin on the bench is a sort of another thing we can do if need be, But other than that, the midfield sort of picks itself. I'm really looking forward to see how Szoboszlai gets on as well. So much so I got him in my fantasy team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man, did you?
That's a bold shout.
Now's the time. Yeah.
Dominic.
Bold shout.
Dominic JK.
You know what I mean, bro? I like Dominic Szoboszlai. Even when he was at Leipzig, I liked him. I think he took him time to settle in, but he showed glimpses. But as I've said, the Tottenham 6-3 game was the resurrection of this brother. He's been good ever since, But I reckon we're going to beat these guys. I don't really look at the opposition team unless it's Man City, really, when I go into a match. I haven't looked at Bournemouth's team. I'm not really bothered. As long as we know that our first 11 are sort of I would have liked Darwin to start, but considering he's just sort of coming back from being ill, him being on the bench is okay. Him and Yota.
Okay. Yeah, there's it's definitely interesting. I see some of the comments being offered in the chat right now. Yeah, this team is very, very stacked. I don't see when's the last time you saw how and why? Because I heard Isak being used. I heard Rev Knight to say Rev, Isak, and I was on Coppish. Big up to Nolante as well. Big up to Team Coppish, but also big up to Nolante. I saw Nolante was on there too. Got a couple comments in there. Got to chop it up with Drifty and Matt. Shout out to both of them as well. And then shout out to Cal too. Cal wasn't available yesterday, but yeah, it was something I brought up and was something that I'm trying to get around to at least putting it out there, at least getting the conversation started. And that is, some of the roles, some of these typecasts that we have for these positions are maybe not the concepts or the role characteristics, that this coach believes he wants to see out of the position. Brian mentioned about the 9, about the false 9, and albeit Lucho isn't necessarily a outright 9, much less an outright false 9 per se, but he does have the work ethic and he does definitely put in the defensive persistence and commitment. Oh, I can. But and I think there's a little echo on yours, Bride, just so you know. But why I was bringing this all up is because, like, on the show yesterday, on our show a couple of times I've said it, but on Coppish yesterday, I especially was marking or remarking about the fact that our number 9, or what everyone wants out of a number 9, fantastic. Everybody wants this an outright number 9. They want to see Holland-esque type stuff. Jeez, is this 7-0? Brighton, what are you doing? Jeez.
Brighton are a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. How you losing to these guys? These guys got battered last week 5-0, lad.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if it's 7-0.
Forest are not a goal machine, man. But yeah, it's all right. We'll get with some more Brian players in midfield, especially. We move. That's all right.
Oh my goodness, Nico Williams. It's 6-0 actually. Nico Williams, jeez. Of course it is. Now it is 7. They just confirmed the goal. Silva is the goal scorer. Nico Williams, of course, sitting on my bench, just scored as well. But anyway, back to what I was just saying. Yeah, no fake scores. No, they just confirmed it. It is 7-0, MPTO. I just think that, like, I hear people saying, like, oh, Isak. And I'm like, if we had Isak would not be, it's not like Isak's going to be all of a sudden, getting through balls or, doing all these like parameters that we see these 9s, these outright 9s doing, or like what he's doing for Newcastle right now, which is being able to, be fed like a 9. He's going to have to sit there and get maybe 7, 9, 12 touches in a game. And out of those 12 touches, get off 2, 3 shots if you're lucky sometimes, because you're just devoted. I mean, there's times when we've seen Lucho not have a shot on goal, or maybe have 1 shot. There's times I've seen Diego have 1, maybe 2 shots. There's times we've seen Nunez have 1 shot. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to get across, is that our 9 and what he's being asked to do is not outright number 9 stuff. But yet people want to keep going and getting that typecast of a player and say, let's get this player and put him there. And it's like, it doesn't work like that. You could put Holland into this team, and he's still struggling to get probably service and score goals because our system has not been set up to do that. Holland he would have 14 or 12. He'd be asked to do 10, 12, 14 ground duels as a number 9, tracking back deep,
But this is what I got
and
killed
doing
for earlier on during the year. I got killed for this because people were saying, "Oh, you're slagging off Darwin. You're slagging off Darwin." And I've been saying he doesn't play with he plays with a Jota. I was saying out of 3, he'd start Jota first, he'd start whoever second, and Nunes third. And it's like, not because I'm slagging off Nunes, because I can just see he doesn't want to play with a Nunes. Not he doesn't want to play Darwin. It's just that's not. I mean, he's playing with a false 9. He's playing with a Firmino type. And it's not Darwin's fault that Darwin's not a Firmino type. It's just, it's just, and that's what I've been trying to point out. I got sick of talking about it. I wasn't slagging off Darwin. I was just saying he doesn't fit the system in the same way that a Jota fits the system. And maybe people are coming around to notice that now. But that's what I've been saying all along. It's not a Darwin thing, even though it can be a Darwin thing at times if he's having a bad game. Someone has a bad game, they have a bad game. But if he's not being like, it's like if we played, if you played Trent at left back, it's like he can do a job there, but it's not his position. So to me, it's always just been the system that doesn't work for Darwin. That's one of the main reasons. And then the fact that when he's been given opportunities, he's had bad games as well. So is Jota, so is Diaz, so is Gakpo. But to me, that was always the clear issue from the start. His system doesn't suit the kid, and the kid doesn't suit the system.
Yeah.
So let's just go with what we got and not like try and shoehorn people in, and just use them as a difference maker when you want to change things up and you bring them and get the best out of them that way, maybe. But yeah, for me, it's always just been about system, which is why I always thought like Jota would be my pick in it because he suits it.
I get that. I get that.
Sorry,
I think that's the reason why sorry.
Sorry. Is the echo thing gone? Is it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah,
it is.
I'm back in a second. I'll just be on mute for a minute. Back in a second.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I get the comments going in there. If we had Bobby if we had a prime Bobby right now, Nunez, Diego, even if Lucho was being asked to try to be our number 9, they would all be on the bench. All right. This system is so catered and suited for a prime Bobby that it would be we would be getting some excellent numbers out of Bobby in that you would be getting great numbers from him defensively, but also great numbers as being a link man. If not, getting his GA. We would be talking about GA for a number 9, possibly, because he would be getting assists and the likes. At least that's how I see it. Maybe I'm talking from a perspective of a person who loves the player. I understand that, but yeah, Bobby would have been fantastic in this system. Fantastic. But that's why in here and why I keep spouting out that you might want to say one thing or another about Isak. Isak is going you would now be asking for Isak, who can be sometimes injury prone, to be doing the workload and the work and the work ethic of a Lucho does on the pitch. Okay, man. That's what you want to see.
At the end of the day,
not easy. That's not easy.
We're like 2 days away from the window closing. And I always say this in football. Sometimes you got to play with the cards you get dealt with. Okay? This manager has had a dime to spend. Okay? He never bought Chiesa in. That was a club signing. we got to play with the guys we've got. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to talk about no transfers. If it was the first day of the transfer window, yeah, maybe. But we know how we roll, how the club rolls, how we sort of sign players and we don't sign players. I'm not going to moan about Jota. I'm not going to moan about Darwin. Why? Because Jota and Darwin have scored goals when they've played. Darwin, not enough goals. I understand that. But when he got us the 3 points at Brentford, take them 3 points away, Arsenal will be 3 points behind us. So I'm looking at it like that. I'm taking game by game. Jota, Darwin, stay fit. If you're needed, get ready to play. We might even see them today involved somehow. Okay. Fans moaning 24/7. Let's get Isaac. Let's get this. No. Let's get that Premier League title. Isaac plays for Newcastle right now. You know, Diaz has been asked to do that role. For me, is he the best at the 9 position? But for me, he's the best at keeping hold of that ball.
Yeah, no,
And a
that
game
was
like
said
this
earlier
today,
too. That was said earlier too. Yeah,
and a game like today is that type of game where we need Diaz to keep hold of that ball. But I just want to beat these guys. Forget about anything else. Let's just go out and get the job done.
Yeah, there was I saw Abdul. Someone was just saying it earlier. Let me see if I can find the comment. Trudon said the truth. That's what I've been saying. Slot wants a Firmino type 9. I agree with that. But there was something about, I think it was Realism Jarrett that said it. Here it is. He says, does Slot want a false 9 or a 9 that can hold up the ball like you're just saying? We don't have anybody who can do that. Maybe Chiesa and Realism Jarrett, but I think that what JK just said, I think is the reason why you see Lucho playing or being the chosen player to play in that role, because he's able to hold the ball. He's able to create with the ball, no matter where on the pitch. He's able to create with the ball in the sense of he's able to control the ball, dribble, advance the ball via his dribbling, and then if he's able to get a shot, he might be able to create his own shot as well because he has that ability. I don't know if you're really going to see a lot of like shot creation by like you having back to the ball and then be able to turn and do these the kind of stuff you might see like a Neymar do or something in that sense, well, at least prime Neymar. But that kind of like player that you can give him the ball, he can create, he can dribble, he can be a magician with his feet, and then make something happen. But I don't think that's what it's simply why when I made that I was on Beijing Reds show and I made a comment about the fact that in that last game, that was one of possibly Nunez's best games despite not scoring. And let me see if I can even bring it up too. This isn't about Nunez per se, but was it the Ipswich game? I'm trying to think which game it was, but it was in the game he didn't score, but yet he had like some umpteen ground duels. And I'm like, this coach obviously pays off if you work on your counter press, if you work defensively, and that's reason why I think that's why like he's been rewarding Lucho with game time, but also rewarding Cody with game time, because let's not get it twisted. We're getting goals from Cody on the regular. We're getting goals from we were getting goals on the regular from Salah. Hopefully that's going to tick back into mode, but we were getting goals on the regular from our wingers, and I can't emphasize that enough. I think our goal production comes from our wings, but and you sprinkle in also a handful of goals from now our midfield, and that's our offense, But That's at least what I'm just. It's sometimes a little bit difficult to wrap our heads around it. I think because and that's why I brought it up on Beijing Reds. That's why I brought it up um on Kopish, because like there are people out there that did not trust Dominic Szoboszlai. I was beating that drum and saying how much like despite he was going to figure out how to score, how to like get goals from his his shooting boots, but the first thing and the most like comparable thing he had to have going for him to be a part of this team was defensive regiment, the work ethic, providing that workload, doing all those different like intangibles that don't really get a lot of the praise and appreciation because they're not goal scoring or they're not assists and the likes, but they're the in the trenches style work that you have to do to be a part of this lineup. That's at least how I'm looking at it. And the sheer fact that we've been winning with it is it's not necessarily, to some people, I'm not even going to bring up names, but to some, no one in the chat too, by the way, no one in the chat, but to some people that, like, or on some, you have to entertain me, play. It has to be all like, 90s Brazil like esque play on the pitch, that's just not how this team is this team orchestrates their offense and their at least my perspective is not how they orchestrate their game plan, but it's working. And I mean, like, if it gets us a title, if it gets us a Champions League, if it gets us an FA Cup, a League Cup, you kind of can't really knock it, despite the fact that I would love to see a system that has us playing with a 9 that like is like a retread of Stevie, Javi, and El Nino all over. Trust me on that. I would love to see it, but that's not what we have. So let's just get excited. I'm excited to see. I'm also excited to about this game because this is going to be a game where you have a team that's going to run. It's going to play open style. So that means that I'm glad to see that we got maybe some rest and we are able to combat that. We've got our runners in the squad. Certainly, the players that we know can keep up, can apply their own running pressure as well. Is that how? What are you guys looking at for this game? Think it's going to be a wide open, high scoring game? Now do you see the lineups? Do you want to change your score predictions?
I think there's going to be goals. They're not going to sit back. Mm-hmm. It could be a wild one or it could be a tight one. It's one of them ones, but it's got sort of wild written all over it. But I like games with loads of goals, I prefer that we get more of the goals, of course. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like this game's going to be, could be a bit of a war, where goals are just going flying in. Main thing is for me, a clean sheet. That should be our main sort.
That'd be good.
And we take it from there. Agreed. But I'm not going to show Bournemouth too much respect. Mm-hmm. You see what happens when we do United 2-2 game. We showed them too much respect. I'm their fans. We're away today. I'm not at Anfield. If it was at Anfield, we beat them 3-0 earlier on in the season.
Yeah. Reels and Jared.
I was looking at it. Sorry, 12, because I brought it up last night. I think the stat was not that they've run the most or whatever, but I think that's the only team. Bournemouth is the only team we've played that outran us in a game, and that was even in the that was in the 3-0. Because I was saying that they have something like the best running stats or something. I look back, yeah. They're the only team that we've played that's run more than us.
Yeah.
And so they will work their absolute balls off. So it will not be a stroll in the sunshine down on the south coast. This will be a tough game.
Yeah.
Like Barney said, they'll fight till the end. They won't give up.
Yeah, these next 2 games are going to be definitely a long haul, and it's something that just because you're not playing or just because you weren't called up, hey, I expect Chiesa to be on the lineup. I do expect Chiesa to be in that lineup for Everton, and I think that he hit that inclusion of Chiesa. Hopefully, I'm not wrong on it, but I think having Chiesa, a player that can create and can show. Definitely, we've seen glimpses of pure Chiesa class. I think that'll be a nice little difference maker. I'm not saying that Chiesa is going to start or something like that for Everton. I'm just saying that having that option will be a nice option against a team that will probably end up playing a low block or some formation, some form of that against us. Having a creative player like Chiesa will be definitely an asset for us, but yeah, and I get it. It's 11 days. I understand that. I get it. I'm just talking about. I know that's. I'm just talking about our Prem games. That's why pretty much.
I think we have Wolves and Plymouth in between that, don't we?
Yeah, we have Wolves. No, we have Wolves after Everton.
Wolves after, so it's Plymouth. We
We
played
have
this.
our League Cup, the League Cup, FA Cup, then back.
Tottenham. Sorry, Tottenham. Yeah, so we've Tottenham, Plymouth.
Yeah.
And then okay, so in those next 11, we still have two cup games, so plenty of minutes there.
Yeah.
For Chiesa as well, I think.
Yeah, and that's why I was only bringing that up primarily because that's like I do not mind seeing Chiesa utilized in the cup games coming up. Whether it's a League Cup or whether it's even so I don't think he'll probably not make roster two games in a row maybe, but
I'm putting Chiesa in that squad in front of Jota because for me Jota's just coming back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting Chiesa in that squad. I don't understand that sort of selection right there. Okay, Darwin's not really great as well. He was ill.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, out of the 2 of them guys, there's enough sort of movement there to let Chiesa play. Chiesa for me is on fire right now.
Yeah,
like that's the best he's been since he's joined us.
Yeah,
put him in the squad. I don't really understand that move right there. Considering Jota is not been great, he's been injured. Darwin flew. Like, come on, man. I don't understand that move right there. I was looking forward to seeing Chiesa play a part today.
Yeah.
He's fit. Like, come on. Actually, maybe the Champions League game took it a bit too much out of him. That guy was running. That brother was.
Oh, he was. Yeah, that's probably the most. He's like, it's the most that we've seen him. Not only run, but I mean, he was committed to
the game. Yeah,
pressing and yeah, exactly. So again,
maybe it took too much out of him, bro.
Points.
Yeah,
all those yeah.
I was just going to look when he. I think you'd have to go back. I would say close to 9 months to the last time Chiesa played a full 90 minutes. Because he hasn't played for 90 for us. Then you take the summer, and he was getting frozen out a bit at Juve. So that maybe not 9 months, but at least 7 months since he's played a full 90 minutes in a proper game.
Mm-hmm.
Which is shocking when you think about it, So maybe not that surprising.
That he's on the squad, yeah. I think that the way he was running in the 88th minute showed me, he's ready. 2, that's probably the first time he's done that in a long time. And seeing him not in the squad just now, I was okay. First inkling, I was a bit pissed off, thinking, I wanted to see him playing involved. But I reckon that shift he did the other day against PSV might have been a bit too much for him, hence why he's not involved today. But I think the Tottenham game, what's up next for us is he'll be back involved, hopefully, in that.
He has to start Plymouth. He has to start against Plymouth.
He has to start Plymouth. I want to see him involved in some way against Tottenham. I think in Tottenham
Okay, yeah, finish your thought. Finish your thought.
No, I'm just saying that Tottenham game is at Anfield. It's at home. We don't have to travel, and he'll have enough rest over this weekend to be sort of involved in that game. Chiesa, Szoboszlai are the two guys I really want to see play more now. I think they've sort of hit their sort of form and vision. So they're sort of ready to play games. What were you going to say, 12? What were you going to say?
Oh, well, that's where, and again, I know it's going to be wild, but now this is where the rotation, where the having, these players to choose from is going to be very interesting to see how and where and why players play. And I agree. I understand that Chiesa should be a part of, especially the FA Cup game, to kind of get him even more ramped up towards being a, full 90 type player. But I want to see him in that. I do want to see Chiesa in that Everton matchup, which is the next matchup after that Plymouth game. So that's why I want to see him in the FA Cup game, but I don't want to overuse him or overextend him just in that FA Cup game and not have him available, because he played him. That's all I was trying to get at.
Yeah, the FA Cup's on Sunday. The Tottenham game's on a Thursday, and I think the Everton game is on a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken.
It's midweek, it's midweek because it's rescheduled.
Yeah, and that's the derby. That's like down the road. It's like Anfield, if you know what I mean. So there's not a lot of travelling need to be done there. I just reckon Chiesa will play a part in the Tottenham, maybe the Plymouth game, and hopefully the Tottenham Everton game. We need sort of someone like the way Chiesa played in that PSV game, in a game like today, an Everton game. I think they would have been in sort of games that I wouldn't mind seeing Chiesa, but yeah, I think maybe a bit too much done on the PSV game being involved today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you guys are saying about it. Then again, only Slot knows, but I disagree with that. To be honest, I think he could have played. You could have cut. It's not like he played 90 minutes, but he's been fit for the last month, so we cannot use any. Oh, he's struggling or whatever. He's been fit for the last month and a half. He could have done easily 10. Yeah, he played PSV, but he could have done at least 10 to 15 minutes max. I don't think that's an issue. I just think what 12 said at the start, maybe Slots, this like players of, surprisingly Jones, Jota, so, and because of Kay's situation, he just wants to rest him for Tottenham. But yeah, listen, look, he could have played today. I don't think there's any reason why he couldn't 10, 15 minutes to make an impact, but it is what it is. But what I would say is about today's game, we need to attack the right-hand side on the left wing. Cody needs to attack Lewis Cook, because Lewis Cook is a good player. He's usually a central midfielder, but he's playing that position at right back. So I need to see Cody go at him and attack him and make him feel uncomfortable. So that's a key part of the pitch for us to attack, because Lewis Cook is out of position. And also, it's going to be, in terms of a key man, it's Robbo. Robbo is going to be a very, very key player today, because his form hasn't not been the greatest. But let's just get it straight. Robbo has had good games this season. He has had some really good solid games, but he's just been more bad than good. So that's the two key positions. The Cody versus Lewis Cook, right hand side versus left. So I want Cody to attack him, an out position player, and Robbo defensively. Can he be the Robbo of old? Can he solidify that side for us? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I feel you. Robbo getting a little bit of a little massage from Cody right now, while they're in the warm-up lines. I was also going to say Clivert. Is it going to be? Is that going to be a player that we're going to have to really focus on shutting down today? Is he that dynamic of a player that he's going to be a headache for us? Well, we shall see, I guess, because he has certainly been in form lately, looking a little bit like his dad, or maybe coming in a little bit out of his dad's shadow, a little bit, maybe you could say.
Yeah. I think he's had that sort of responsibility. Oh, look, that's the son of Patrick. Is he going to be any good? Remember Alex Ferguson, his son, Duncan Ferguson. The amount
Oh, you
of
Darren? You mean
Darren.
Darren.
Darren?
What did I
Yeah.
say, Dara?
Duncan.
No, that's
Duncan Ferguson. He's the big,
Yeah.
the other guy.
Oh,
yeah.
Dylan. That's what you sound like you're saying.
So like, for me, you got to get out of
Dylan.
Best Dara
Dylan.
ever.
You spit hot fire.
I spit hot fire. God damn it, hot fire. Making the band, everyone. We're just referring to making the band. Don't watch that.
Excuse
Jokes.
And they're like his lead singer.
me.
I spit
Yeah,
hot
but
fire.
so for me, it's about
Sorry.
time Clivert sort of came out the shadows of his dad. You know, he made a name for himself, and he's done that in the last few months. But we've got Gravenberch there to deal with him. We'll see what happens in that one.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, and even Macca too as well.
Doing well to live up to his
And-
dad. Very
Yeah.
much. He'll do well to get to that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, his dad was.
It's not easy having a Hall of Fame style or
Just ask Duncan
all the time.
Ferguson.
What's that?
Yes.
What did he say? I didn't hear you. I hear you. I'm sorry.
The bright way
I
to
just-
judge what he said.
There
But,
could be worse.
Slightly different.
Could be worse.
He plays. He used to play off the left
Yeah.
a lot for Roma. Not so much an out and out striker. I mean, his dad was a pure nine. You want to talk about number nines, pure nines? His dad was a pure nine.
Mhm.
You rarely saw him anywhere, more than 30 yards away from the goal. But yeah, he has come into a bit. It just shows you, like a player, it's like a big name, big reputation coming with the name. Did well in Holland. Goes to
Wood,
Roma.
Yeah.
He goes to Roma, and there was a lot of obviously a lot of hype, and then it was kind of hasn't really worked out, and it didn't really work out from immediately at Bournemouth either.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
But it
hasn't.
just takes the right manager, the right set of players, that you're in the team, the manager that wants a player that does what you do, and he obviously has the quality. So is it a bit of a hot streak for him? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know,
that's
but
the
he's,
thing.
he's never done this before. This is new kind of for him, So it's not like, oh yeah, this lad, sure, he had to quiet for 6 months, but he was brilliant for 2 years. No, maybe he's just on a hot streak, but if we don't want that hot streak, extended against us today.
No.
So nice early tackle on him, see how he feels about it, all the usual stuff, and let him know he's in the game.
Yeah. Agreed. Definitely agreed on that one. We're about 10 minutes away from kickoff. It's funny. It's so funny. I'm sure our Red Devil rivals are probably sitting back and just loving the day of seeing Elanga have 3 assists on the day.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well at that,
Devil.
Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still-
that's
still
what I mean.
bits.
Sometimes just move away from Man United. It'll do your world of good.
It's just a
De Bruyne
different
at
world.
Chelsea as well.
Yeah, you get away from the rats and the sewage. And guess what happens? Wow.
Yeah. United and Chelsea as well. Look at Chelsea, bro. De Bruyne and Salah, the best players in the Premier League over the last 10 years. So don't go, like, if you go to these clubs, you've got a chance to leave. If you want to have a good career in football, man.
Yeah.
Save yourself.
Yeah, save yourself.
Oh man. Interesting stadium that we're going to be in today as well, by the way. It is interesting stadium.
Yeah, it's like a Sunday League stadium. Really
Yeah, it's a
small.
very cozy quarters, you could say, in this stadium.
Well, it's most unusual to me because it's a new stadium. You often find a lot of those, like, oh, it's 10, 11,000. It's like, yeah, well, the stadium's like 50, 60 years old.
Mhm,
But they
mhm.
moved from, it was something like Wheatfields or something like that they used to play at. and they purposely built that Vitality Stadium really recently to 11,000.
Right.
You know, so it's kind of like yeah, it is unusual that like the smaller stadiums tend to be the older ones, but they're like, no, we'd rather have kind of like the Juve thing when they left Stadio degli Alpi to go to the new one. They said we'd rather have a full stadium that's 47,000 than a half empty
A
80,000
half-empty
seat.
stadium. Yeah.
So Bournemouth are like, this thing is going to be packed every single week, and if we need to do
Yeah.
something, we can do something. But it's a good way of doing it, I think, and wasn't a huge outlay. It
I
suits the two.
totally get that. I totally get that. That's what they've done in America. That's what they've done with MLS. They went away from building, and I know people wouldn't expect that, but they went away from building these big, or at least even playing in these like, you know, stadiums or in the likes that weren't really made
100,000
for
seater
football.
goals.
They're made more for American football, for instance, than they are for
Yeah.
you know, for football. And now they've gone to these stadiums that are like, you know, better sight lines. You're closer to the pitch. You might have a, you know, 15, 20,000 at max 15, 20,000 stadium, but you know, as opposed to the counterparts that have the 50, 60, 70,000 people stadiums. But it's cool. It's cool. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, any late score predictions, lads? Get them in the chat. Any late
Yeah,
score
American
predictions?
baseball stadiums are massive for sure. Get them in. Get it in. Yeah, if you have any more score predictions,
I'll stick with
definitely
my
get 'em in. I
3-1
saw
anyway.
two. I saw two early. It was or three now.
Abdul.
Bring up realism. Jared had 4-0. I'm gonna get
Bless
this in
Abdul.
real quick before we get out. 4-0. Revenite had 3-1. 2-0 is good enough for Hash. He's saying. I'm not sure if he's predicting that or if that's just his expectations for today. What else? Bernie still staying with 2-1. 1-0 is what Max says.
Galenica is not on the
Who's
pitch.
your
Yeah,
hero?
there's-
Who's your hero? Yeah, Max. Who's your hero?
Leonardo.
Leonardo, yeah.
Hero's not on the pitch.
Max, mentioned us about Glenn Hoddle, Max, since he's your favourite player.
He was one of my favourite players, Glenn Waddle.
You're on one today, Jake, aren't you?
Chris
You're
Waddle
absolutely
and
on
Glenn
one.
Waddle mixed together. Glenn Waddle. But Chris Waddle was also a player. Top little player.
Oh,
he
yeah,
was.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah. We get you. We see you, Nunez. He's speaking about Nunez. Got you. Everton. We are okay. They've got the banners flying. I was going to repeat that because I don't want to get clipped up being sounding like that with what the banner said. They're about to walk onto the pitch. Our captain, Roger Van Dijk. Big up Ali, Ibu, Cody, Robbo, Maka, all coming through the tunnel right now. Let's see. Grav, Lucho, Dom, Trent, and last but not least, the Egyptian king, Mohamed Salah. As they walk onto the pitch of Vitality Stadium, it looks like it is a nice little day, actually. Look, I mean, I know it's cold, I'm sure, over there. I mean, it's cold. It's kind of cold here. It's like 4 degrees Celsius here. It's kind of it's chilly.
Mhm.
But yeah, we are looking at them do the handshakes. Got 3 minutes. Any last shouts you want to do before we bounce out? Let the people get situated into where they're going to watch this game. Nolante, you have anything you want to say?
No, not much. Big up to the chat as always. Whether you're around the world, in UK, Europe, Asia, South America, enjoy the game. We know the mission. Let's get the win and let's talk about it after the stream. Peace out. Enjoy it, guys.
Cool. JK?
Same as bro. Enjoy the game. Hope we just get the job done. You know, that's the main thing. We've got a lot of games coming
3
up.
points. 3
Yeah,
points.
3
Yes,
points. That's it.
exactly. 3 point. Get 3-point collectors, as KJ likes to say. 3-point collectors. That's the Pokemon card we're looking for. Is the 3? You know. Irishman, anything you like to say to people?
No, I just want to let Max know we're just having a bit of fun. It's just because you've spoken before and how you watch Spurs a lot. So it's just really, yeah. Don't worry. It's just
Yeah.
Nah, bro, we only joking, man. Even I watch Spurs, bro.
Yeah.
But I ain't got season ticket.
You know what we're like? If you give us an inch, we'll take a mile. You know. So
Yeah.
But no, just everyone,
Fancy
please
games,
enjoy the match.
Yeah.
Definitely. No, you're cool, Max. We'll stop.
Max is definitely.
Sorry, Max. We got you.
He's a football fan, Max.
We got
he
you,
likes his
Max.
Football
football.
fan, yeah, exactly.
He's a football fan. I watch a lot of games.
Football
I watch
fan.
a lot of football.
Mate, I watch
Reds
Man
fan
United all the
first.
time.
Yeah. Reds fan first.
So they lose. Hopefully they're losing it, man.
Right.
That's why I watch United. To watch them lose.
Oh, Man United, fan interest.
Yeah. Oh,
Purely
yeah.
for research,
That's a very true. That's a very true point. I watch Manchester United games. I watch them to lose. Definitely. I watch.
Exactly.
You know.
Oh, Tov, you watch them for the rats and the sewers to come out again.
Yeah. I'm looking. I'm looking for when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are going to pop out next or something. That's all. Master Splinter on the
Master Splinter. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, people. Wherever you're at, enjoy the games. Absolutely going to be a fun ride today. Bunch of games on the docket. Hopefully, you get to see the games. I know 3:00 blackout, but all the same, hopefully, you get to see the games. And we will talk to you on the flip side. But as always, up the Reds, people, up the Reds, and let's get this W. All right, we'll see you on the flip when we have our match reaction. Take care, and definitely God bless.